Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the second part of my secondhand book haul. So I'm just going to dive right into this because I have a lot of books to show you and I don't want to waste time trying to explain everything. So I'm just going to kind of speed through them really quickly. If you have any questions about them or anything, just let me know in the comments below. So the first book that I have is one that I'm reading right now, sort of. It's called The Quiet Room, A Journey Out of the Torment of Madness by Laurie Schiller and Amanda Bennett. And this is a book about schizophrenia. And what I mean by I'm kind of reading it is I started reading it and I made it to page 29. And the book is kind of intense because I just finished reading an Ellen Hopkins book. So for me to go from Ellen Hopkins and the stuff that she talks about to something dealing with schizophrenia is a little bit too heavy for me right now. So I set it aside, but I do plan to continue with it later on. The next book that I picked up is A Night to Remember, the classic account of the final hours of the Titanic by Walter Lord. I am obsessed with the Titanic and the story behind it, so I definitely had to pick this one up. I picked up The Hummingbird's Daughter by Luis Alberto Urrea? I'm not sure. Historical fiction, I don't know too much about it, but when I did read the synopsis it sounded interesting enough for me. The next one that I have is an ex-library copy, and it's Salvador by Joanne Didion, and I don't remember what this is about. I think it's about her explorations in El Salvador, but I'm not 100% sure. It's very, very tiny, and I'm actually really looking forward to reading this because it's not what I would typically read. And I picked up Julie and Julia by Julie Powell. That's a lot of Julie stuff going on there. I have seen the movie and I love the movie, so I decided to pick up the book and see if I like it just as much as I like the movie. And as you guys probably know from my previous secondhand book haul, I'm trying to build my classics up a little bit, so I picked up Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I love this edition. The cover is really, really gorgeous in my opinion. I read this back in like high school, but it's been a long time since I read it, so I really wanted to add this to my collection. Next I have Saturday by Ian McEwan. I don't even know. His name baffles me for some reason. I haven't read anything by him before, so I decided to pick this one up to give him a shot. I picked up Many Lives, Many Masters, the true story of a prominent psychiatrist, his young patient, and the past life therapy that changed both their lives by Brian L. Weiss or Wes. This sounded really interesting to me. Again, it's not something that I usually pick up, but it deals with psychotherapy, and I'm very interested in psychological books and things that deal with that type of stuff, so I definitely had to pick this one up. And then I picked up to add to my classics collection, Stuart Little by E.B. White. This is an old edition, I think. This one was published in 1945. It does have a little wear, like the dust jacket's a little beat up, but I don't own a copy of this and I've actually never read it, so I'm very excited about owning this. So now my assistant has come to see me. Hi. You want to say hi to the booktube sphere? Say hi. Say hi. Or not. The next one that I picked up is Feed by M.T. Anderson. I've heard a lot about this book back in the day and it's always kind of intrigued me. All I remember is that it's a young adult and that I've been interested in it since I can remember, so I decided to grab this one. The next one that I grabbed is Family Tree by Barbara Delinsky, which is not like I said, I'm kind of going out of my comfort zone here. This is not something I would typically read. It's an adult contemporary. I don't remember what it's about exactly, but it's very different from what I'm used to, and it sounded good enough to me to want to venture out from my comfort zone to try to read it and see how I like it. The next one I got is a YA, and it's in like brand new condition, and I got it for like $2, and it's Harbinger? I'm not sure. This is by Sarah Wilson Etienne? Gosh, this book. Again, I don't know what this one is about. I can't remember because I've bought so many books. But it does have a map on the inside, so that's a good sign, right? So I was very excited to find this for only like $2. You can't pass that up. Another YA that I got that's in like brand new condition for a couple bucks is The Probability of Miracles by Wendy Wonder. And I think this is a YA contemporary, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm very excited about it. And I really, really like the color of this book. Then I picked up Miss Wyoming by Douglas Copeland. For some reason, I'm wanting to get all of his books, although I haven't read any of his books yet. I've always wanted to read Hey Nostradamus, and I finally got Hey Nostradamus, and I haven't read it yet, but his books just sound so interesting to me, so I decided to get this one, and I'm probably going to end up getting the majority of his books, and hopefully I will read one very, very soon. The next one that I got is also a YA, and it's called Rosebush, and it's by Michelle Jaffe. I'm not sure. But I don't really know what it's about. I think it's like a thriller, YA thriller type thing. Sounds interesting enough, and also in like brand new condition. I also got Eggs by Jerry Spinelli. I've never read anything by Jerry Spinelli, so I'm not sure what everybody's take on him is, but I wanted to give him a shot. And two more YAs that I got that are in decent, almost like new condition that I spent a couple bucks on. And I think they're part of a series or a trilogy, I'm not quite sure. The first one is The Eternal Ones by Kirsten Miller, and the second one is All You Desire. So I'm not quite sure what these are about. They looked interesting enough to me, and I've seen this one around before, but I don't remember what people said about it, or if they said it was good or bad or what. But we'll just have to wait and see what I think about it. Alright, I've got a couple more classics. The first one is The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer? Why am I having trouble today? This is just a Penguin Classic Edition. I've never read The Canterbury Tales all the way through, so I wanted to add this to my collection, and hopefully I'll get through it one of these days, because I really need to get into my classics a little bit more. Then I picked up this awesome hardcover edition of The Picture of Dorian Gray. I really, really like this edition. It's very small and compact and cute, and I really like it. And the text is kind of small, but not too bad. I have the graphic novel of this, but I haven't read it yet. I've heard it's really good, so I want to give it a shot, and I really kind of want to read this before I read the graphic novel. This one I got that was free, and it's a Mark Twain novel, Life on the Mississippi. It's just a Signet classic, just a little mass market. I've never heard of this one by Mark Twain before, but it was a freebie, so I'm not sure when I'll get to this, but hopefully eventually. I mean, since it was just free, it's not really a top priority for me right now, and plus I've never heard of this. And then I picked up a like brand new condition book of The Velveteen Rabbit by Marjorie Williams, and I'm very excited to own this. Although I don't have children, I read this book as a child a lot, and I really, really love it, and it is so gorgeous, and the illustrations are adorable, and I'm so happy that I have this for myself because I'm greedy. A couple more to show you, and then I'll close out this video, and then we'll do a part 3 later on, because I do have more books that I've recently purchased too. So this one is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, and there is a movie or a TV show, I can't remember, that I watched as a kid, and I also read The Wind in the Willows as a kid, but I don't remember it, and I don't have my own copy, so I'm really excited for this. This is like brand new condition, excellent, excellent copy, and it's so beautiful, and it has illustrations throughout, like so. And I just really like this edition very, very much. Next I have one that's also a little bit out of my comfort zone. It's an adult. I think it's a contemporary. It's called All He Ever Wanted by Anita Shreve. I can't remember what made me pick this book up. I know that it's about marriage. I don't know. It's something about a marriage and jealousy and, you know, complicated marital issues or whatever. It sounded interesting enough for me to want to read it. It seems like something that I would probably fly through really quickly. Then I picked up another classic by Iris Murdoch, and that is The Sea, the Sea. I've never heard of this. Have you guys heard of this? Because there are so many classics out there that I have not heard of. But I did read the back of this, and I was interested enough to see what it's all about. And hopefully these classics that I've picked up aren't going to be too difficult to get through. That's the problem that I find most with classics, is that it's really hard to get into them because the writing style and the way that they were written is kind of hard to understand sometimes. And I'm hoping that most of these, that's not the case. And the last one that I'm going to show you guys is one that I'm really excited for, although it's an ex-library copy and I'm not too keen on those, but I am a big Edgar Allan Poe fan. So this book is The Murder of Edgar Allan Poe by George Egon Hatbury. And it's beautiful, and I love it, and I can't wait to read it. I don't really know too much about what it's about. Obviously, it's something about Edgar Allan Poe being killed. But Edgar Allan Poe, if I see a book by him or about him, I'm immediately drawn to it. So I definitely had to pick this one up for myself, and it's not very long. Hopefully I can get to this one very, very soon. I say that about all of my books, and they just sit there and stare at me. So that's all the books that I'm going to show you for this haul. I still have quite a few. So you might see this outfit again, because I might go ahead and continue on to try to get through these so that you guys can see them, so that I can put them on my shelves if they will fit. So that's it for this one, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these. Let me know your thoughts on the classics. I would love to hear your opinions. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!